Could be. I don't think it's a coincidence that the Prime Minister's office hasn't translated this speech, because when he wants people abroad to be aware of what he's saying, he's very quick. His office is at translating it. In this case, this was a declaration of war directed inside Israel. So I just want to quote you someone who our audience may know, Avi Sakharov, the creator of the Fauda television series, tonight wrote, Netanyahu has decided to go to war against the security forces of the state of Israel. And tonight what we saw was absolutely a declaration of war. Netanyahu accused mid-war, remember, you just showed us images of Gaza, of Lebanon. Israel is facing multi-front wars ongoing. And the Prime Minister, in this video statement, said that he and the state have been betrayed by the heads of the army and by the heads of the Shin Bet, Israel's National Security Service. He said that, going into some detail, that he was not given documents and information that he as Prime Minister should have been given, and said that these agencies have taken one of his former employees, a guy called Eli Feldstein, hostage. And it was the only mention of hostage, the word hostage, in his entire speech, whereas, as we all know, Israel has 110 hostages rotting to death in Gaza still now, 14 months into this war. And a terrible video, apparently, of one of them was released tonight. There was no mention of any of that or of the pain of the population at all. What we have seen since he posted this speech is also extraordinary. So the former head of the Shin Bet, Yoram Cohen, a Shin Bet director appointed by Netanyahu, went on television live and accused the Prime Minister of mishandling the job of running the state. He said that these were an aberrant series of accusations from the Prime Minister. What we're seeing tonight in Israel is a civil war, so far in words. The Prime Minister does not have his own private militia, but we are seeing open warfare mid-war between the government and the security agencies of the state.
The walls all closing in around Netanyahu. And Noga, you touched on the hostage situation right now. We have had another hostage march for the families of those hostages, in which they said it's Netanyahu versus the people. That was one of the banners that could be seen there. That's these hostage marches have taken place every Saturday since the start of October 7th. Now we have news, the Hamas armed wing, the Ezzedine al-Qassam brigade, saying that another hostage has been killed. Do we have anything more on that?
We don't, but we already have experience with this sort of statement. So what Hamas did earlier was release a not very clear video, but a hard video to see, which has not been released in Israel. And it shows what appears to be the dead body of a woman, badly bruised, and then wrapped in a kind of death shroud with bloodied parts. And in the statement that Hamas released, they said that another Israeli hostage who had been held with the dead hostage, they didn't name either of them, that her life was in danger. Now, we have to be very, very careful with all of these kind of statements for several reasons. The main one is we already have experience with Hamas allowing some of these Israeli hostages to survive for 11 months, it was at the time, on October the 30th, and then murdering them, executing them in cold blood when they feel that Israeli army soldiers might be getting too close. We may be seeing a situation like that. We may be seeing a moment of a kind of psychological terror by Hamas, or it could be a situation in which an Israeli bombardment harmed these hostages. We don't know. But let's come back to our first topic, because this is related. One of the reasons for Netanyahu's huge stress and for this really astonishing rant tonight is that what his top aide, Eli Feldstein, is accused of doing is of assisting Netanyahu in disseminating misinformation based on stolen top secret documents aimed at scuttling possible deals to release these hostages. And so when we see Netanyahu scrambling like this, or almost panicking, as he has been described tonight, we are seeing someone who's responding to accusations that verge on treason during wartime and acting against the basic interests of his citizens.